She joins us live now for an update. Patricia, very good afternoon to you. It is official. Mr. Msimanga announced as the executive mayor of the city of Tshwane. I mean, take us through those moments when he gave his first inaugural speech.
Well, of course, Alicia, certainly the winds of change blew through the council chambers here in Tshwane. Of course, as he, for the first time, took to the podium to address, of course, the council members here. Of course, members from the ANC started immediately to unite in song, calling him Ulimenemene Msimanga, as they were singing very loud as he was approaching the podium. Of course, we saw a lot of, resistance from the ruling party. We saw a lot of interruptions as he was trying to address, of course, the House to a point where the newly elected Speaker, Rachel Mateba, of course, had to intervene repeatedly to try and call for, silence and calm in the House. But overall, him again saying that he had not prepared a speech. He wanted to address the people of Tshwane from the heart and really just tell them about the promise that he is bringing to the capital city, the promise of change for a better life for all, of course. And I'm looking at him. He was actually now supposed to come and talk to us a little bit, but I think he is also pressed for time. He's speaking to the other media at the back. I'm not sure whether he will be coming to, speak to the SABC. Of course, he has to go to lunch where he and his party members will also start their celebrations. But here in the House, things turned tense the moment he approached the podium. You could feel the tension in the air and that resistance that he was met with from the ruling party, Alicia. So that already told you that an interesting time is, of course, waiting for us. And the road ahead for him is certainly not going to be easy. Right here he is now, the man of the moment. Would it be correct and right for me to say congratulations at this point?
Yes, I think indeed. So it is quite humbling that we are where we are right now. Got nominated and elected unopposed, which is a good sign. But what happened following that, I think, is a bit of a shame, because the ANC had denied the residents of our city a chance to hear the message that I actually wanted to deliver to our people. But be that as it may, we want to say to our people, the promises that we made is the promises that I want you to hold me to, and that is of a clean government, that is of a caring government, that will be a government that will stop corruption and ensure that we are helping in creating the jobs, and that's what I'm committed to.
Of course, your first address to a rocky start, does that worry you that this might be the order of day? This might be the climate that persists in this House under you?
Well, look, I mean, we are expecting that it's not going to be easy from the ANC to move from a governing party into an opposition, and they will do that without any hassles. But we are pleading, and I'm going to be setting up a meeting with the leadership thereof to say, let us maintain the quorum of the House and let us find each other. Let us find a way where we can actually engage in a respectful manner, so that our people can benefit at the end of the day. It cannot be that when you want to deliver to our people or a message to our people, they're disrupting that message. It cannot be that we will be disrupting the running of the House, because we'll be disrupting the running of government, as it may be.
Of course, repeatedly you were called Limenemene, and hurdles were heard from the opposition benches, where a lot of them were saying, but you never won, you did not get an outright majority. What do you say to that?
Well, I would say that the people have spoken. I am here right now, and I am going to make sure that we take service delivery to the next level. So people can call me names, but I'm saying let them judge me by the work that we'll be doing.
Okay, I know you are pressed for time right now. Just the last question. Something interesting that came up for me was when the EFF rose to congratulate you, they raised two very important points, saying that they want you to tackle the issue of white privilege, monopoly capital, and also for the red ends not to intervene where there are land grabs. And it became very evident that members from your party did not really applaud you. In fact, it was the members of the ANC that stood up and applaud you. what's the sentiment that you're getting out of that?
Well, look, I mean, obviously we are going to need to thresh out a number of things going forward. One of the things that we will not allow is the illegal occupation of land, because we are saying we will need to start servicing land so that we can move people onto those pieces of land. So it's going to be impossible for me to deliver on infrastructure development in those pieces of land if there are already occupants in that. So we will have a meeting, and I will engage with the EFF, and I will engage with the whole council on the plan that we have to ensure that the informal settlements, we can at least try to eradicate the kind of illegal services that is taking place there. But it's going to require all of us to work together instead of against each other.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Msimanga. Of course, the Tshwane new mayor, Msimanga, here talking to the SABC, giving his sentiment on some of the things that came out in the first council meeting under his reign. Of course, they're getting a lot of attack from some of the ANC members who are now occupying the opposition benches. Alicia, that is a clear indication that, of course, a long, hard road full of potholes awaits for him as he, of course, stands as the man at the helm of the capital city. So there's a lot of challenges that he'll have to face. There's a lot of people's hearts that he still needs to win over. So it's not going to be an easy one. And the opposition already saying, but he did not get an outright majority. He got to the helm through the help of course, the smaller parties and the votes that he got from the EFF when they elected the mayor earlier today.
All right, Patricia, very quick one before I let you go. I mean, earlier the council meeting had to adjourn. Are you able to tell us exactly why that happened?
Well, it's actually a little bit of a controversial matter. Now, earlier, before the elections, about a month before the elections, the community of Ward 89 in Soshanguve had elected Lucas Ngobeni to be their councillor candidate in that particular area. He was then removed and replaced by Marias Kosana. And, of course, he took the matter to court. The High Court ruled in his favor and ordered the ANC to put him back on the list. But of course, when we went to the polls, it was still Maria's face who was on the ANC poster in that particular ward. So today, both of them arrived here wanting to be sworn in. And of course, the city manager, Jason Ngobeni, had to intervene in that matter, saying that in that ward, they cannot swear in two councillors, asking the IEC to intervene and tell this house who is the rightful candidate, who is the candidate that emerged strongly and that was chosen by the people, and who do the IEC think should be sworn in. But of course, that matter was not finalized. It's still an outstanding matter. Of course, the city manager had the prerogative whether to wait for the outcome from the IEC or whether he can continue with the proceedings. And he decided not to waste time, but rather continue with the proceedings. And of course, at a later time, we will hear what the outcome is in that very controversial matter, I may say.
Thank you for that clarification there. That's our reporter on the scene there, Patricia Visagie, giving us an update on the new Executive Council of the City of Tshwane.